Peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings. This is your brother, Sean Ali. Supreme Health and Fitness by Sean Ali. I thank everybody for tuning in and blessing me with some of your valuable time. And I pray that this message is received in the spirit that I am striving to present it in, which is the spirit of your brother, the spirit of love, the spirit of God. And I just want to talk about briefly the science of how to eat to live and how we can apply that to us, how we understanding the application of applying how to eat to live according to our specific needs. Because that's a general statement, is eating to live. But eating, just like anything else in your life, is personal. You can't exercise according to anybody else. You can't eat according to anybody else, because everybody's needs are specific. So when we look at the science of how to eat to live, then we going into, well, how do I prescribe that and apply that to myself? And that's where a lot of the failure comes in at. The lack of success comes in at, because we try to eat according to other people's recipes. So I might make a sandwich, or I might make a bowl of soup, or I might make this meal to me that tastes good. But just because it tastes, and we confuse taste good with nutrition. But just because this meal works does not mean that it will work for you, because you might not use the amount of energy that I use. You might not have used the elements that I use. So what you need to supply and maintain yourself is not going to be the same as me. So there are general rules and practices that are across the board with nutrition. Now, one of the things that's very disturbing is this mix up on carbs. And for those that are melanated, Black people, we have to understand that when we see these conversations on low carb, no carbs, they are not intended for you and I. We see these sciences on celiac or glucose intolerance, that's not describing you and I. Up until the late 90s, they would not even diagnose a Black person with celiac disease, which is glucose intolerance, because it was almost an impossibility for a Black person, a non-European, to have a tolerance or intolerance to gluten. That's the fabric of life. That's the a byproduct of a carbohydrate. That's the byproduct of photosynthesis. That's sunlight turned into a chemical form. So it was only those that have a problem with the sun. Europeans, after 15 minutes of sun exposure without protection, they begin to develop skin cancer. That's the number one cause of cancer. It's skin cancer. And the number one, those that lead in the development of skin cancer are Europeans. So when they looking at the sunlight, they have to adjust their diet accordingly. That's not our science. See, so this is a nutritional guideline that when you study nutrition and you want to be a nutritionist, this is the science that they see. So they saying that when you divide your meal, that 45 to 65% of your meal should be a carbohydrate, that 20 to 35 of your meal should be a fat, that only 10 to 35% should be a protein. See, so now they have said they promote a low carb, no carb diet, then they promote a high protein. I got to get my protein shake. No, you're no. You're saying in order to produce energy, Your body needs oxygen and glucose, and they convert the oxygen and glucose into ATP energy. See, so without glucose is a carbohydrate. It is the end result of photosynthesis. It is literally sunlight in chemical form. And the sun is the source of energy in the universe. So when you and I, when we can't go outside and absorb the sun, then we have to eat it in the form of a carbohydrate. So when we eat this carbohydrate and our body breaks the bonds and unlocks that structure, the sunlight is manifest, and that we convert it into energy for our heart to beat, our lungs to respirate, and for us to have motion. So when you replace the natural order of your energy, see, when you take an element that's not the first or even the second form of your energy and you promote it to the first, maybe, just maybe, when we take a look at our present health status, for those that love the protein shake, hey, I'm just saying, that's your third form of energy. For your body to convert protein into energy, it goes through a serious reaction. That's why it's the third. The first is the carb. The second is fat. The third in your emergency is protein. It's not meant for you to have a high amount of protein in your body because it's important, but we don't need a lot of it. So when we're looking at the science of how to eat to live, you have to understand your anatomy. You have to understand your physiology. You have to understand your biology and your makeup and what energy is and what it is not. Vitamins and minerals do not yield energy. But those of us that say, man, I'm tired, let me go take my protein shake, let me go get my vitamins. No, you will never get energized. What you feel is the sugar that's incorporated in that element. It's not energy. Because vitamins and minerals, they don't yield energy. They have no calories. They help manufacture and support the metabolism of your energy, but they do not yield energy. So see, we have a commercialization concept of eating, of health. And we have to get out of that because they are selling a product. They aren't selling health and wellness. They are selling a product. So because we do not have an idea and understanding the knowledge of nutrition, when we start to suffer, then we trick ourselves into believing the commercial. And the bad thing is we don't do no research. So this is what nutritionalists learn when you go to school to study to be a nutrition, on how to divide your meal during the course of a day. That the most abundant element on this is carbohydrates. The least. These are our macronutrients. MACRO nutrients. These are our macro. The vitamins and minerals are our micro, MICRO nutrients. The macro are the energy yielding. They are macro because it's big. So we need those in an abundant. We do need the vitamins and minerals are micro because we don't need a lot of them. So when we're going into the science of how to eat to live, see, we're not looking at before we even get to the food, we have to understand energy. So listen, understanding our human energy cycles and transformations to achieve abundant life. This breaks down what activities expend energy and what are the best foods to replace your energy with, to how to build, because I don't care what they call it, vitamins, minerals, protein, carb, it's still all energy. Those are just different forms of energy that somebody labeled a particular term, but it's all energy. Everything is atoms. So you're looking at atomic energy. You're looking at, we have to go to it from an atomic structure. And that's very easy to do. So once we get there and we understand this, then see now we can, when we go to plan our meal, see we will eat exactly what we need. We will see when we introduce a food or a drink or any item in your body that you don't need, you create an environment of stress in your body. Now listen, it's way better for you to be under than over. If you are thirsty, if you are dehydrated, all you have to do is drink some water. If you are overhydrated, see, if you are overhydrated, now your body has to go through a bunch of changes because it becomes bloated. See, now it's retaining water. See, now the effects are more dangerous. See, if you are malnutrition, all you have to do is eat. But if you sit there and you stuff yourself and you say you got a bellyache, oh, you got acid reflux, oh, you might be miserable for hours or days. See, and you can get it so bad, it'll feel like a heart attack. So it's always better to be under than over. So now when we go to eat, when we go to plan our meal, we won't plan it according to what my taste buds say. See, because we will retrain our taste buds to accept the food that we need. Because we will be eating to live. So our taste buds will be looking for life instead of flavor. See, that's a difference. When you train your mind to eat to live, your taste buds will look for life. So when you chewing something, it won't look for the salt or the sugar or the fat. It will look for the amount of life in it. And if it's not life present, it won't let you swallow. Your mouth will lock up and you will have to spit out what you're chewing. See, that's training ourselves to eat to live. Because if you don't eat to live, that means you're eating to die. We can only do one of the two. Everything that you put in your mouth is either causing your death or it's supporting your life. Everything that you put in your mouth is either causing your death or it's supporting your life. There is no in between. So when we look at the science of how to eat to live, see, now we got books that's designed for us. Life Energy, The Sun, Glucose, and Why Humans Are Herbivores. You see what I'm doing in this picture? I'm sunbathing. That's how we originally ate, because the sun is the sole source of energy in the universe. I don't care what they call it, vitamin A, C, B, D, whatever mineral they call it. It's all byproducts of the sun. It's all byproducts of the sun. So when we stand in the sun, our body will absorb everything we need. Wow. See? Man, this is made for the people of the sun. The sun, glucose, and why humans are herbivores. See, and then we have a understanding carbohydrates that will help us clear up the misconception on carbs, because as a nutritionist, when you go to study nutrition, they will teach you that the most abundant element that you need is carbohydrates. See, look, the least is protein. And then the second is fat, because your brain needs fat. Your brain needs the sunlight that the carb is for that energy. It needs fat. See? So your myelin sheaths on your nerves, they need fat. So the first thing we need is protein, is the carbohydrates, the glucose. That in oxygen, our body converts into ATP, life energy. Then you got the fat. That's your nervous system. The myelin sheath that covers your nerves is the fat. Without fat, you will kill yourself and you will suffer nervous problems. See, that sciatic nerve, it might not be. See, listen to me. Protein for those that are having and eating and consuming a high protein diet. This is from college, man. I don't care what a fad diet is saying. Listen to me. Yes, you can eat a high protein diet, but because you take your body through so many reactions and you have the ketosis and all of this other stuff, because your body has to create energy. So when you don't have enough carbs, when you don't have enough fat, it's stuck with the protein. And what it has to do to turn protein into glucose, it stresses your body out. That's why you lose weight, because you have put your body under extreme stress. So you tricking it, you harming it into losing weight instead of being conscious and exercising and eating to live. That's the easy way. But you create the stress, this stress, and it wears out your heart, it wears out your respiratory system, and you will ultimately suffer premature death. So these weightlifters and all these people that's been tricked on, man, let me start my day with a protein shake. Listen to me. I don't know who told you that, but I'm a nutritionalist. I went to, so we got the books, man. Understanding Carbohydrates, Life Energy, The Sun, Glucose, and Why Humans Are Herbivores, and Understanding Human Energy, the energy cycles and transformations for us to achieve abundant life. So, listen, I just want us to understand that the concept and the science of how to eat to live is very real. And for us to apply it, we must understand what I need. The energy that you burnt throughout today, that's what you have to replace when you eat. If you sweat very hard, if you perspired, then you might need more sodium. You might need more potassium to replace your electrolytes, your sweat. But if you didn't, that type of meal might hurt you. So you have to eat according to how you expended your energy. That's eating to live. Now you can go into the foods, the proper foods that will get it. But first you got to understand yourself and your needs. Because when you put anything in your body that your body does not need, you are literally killing yourself. Because you will create an environment of stress, because your body won't know what to do with what you put in it. So it'll just sit there. And it'll sit there, and your body will try to digest it, and it'll keep trying to digest it. It'll keep secreting gastric juices and gastric fluids and all of these enzymes, and your digestive system will never shut down. And now you will creep that all of that acid will burn a hole in the lining of your stomach or your intestines, and that poison will seep out, and it will start to bloat your midsection. And now your midsection will start to expand, and you will have visceral fat, and you will have bloated and fermented and rotted material inside of you, causing your death, causing your disease, causing your sickness, causing your illness. So as your brother, I would just want us to know that I took my knowledge and I specialized it for us, because while I was in school, I was learning that there is a difference, a major difference on how every race, ethnic group should and does eat. That the only people that don't eat according to their ethnic lineage is us. And we developed heart disease 30% faster than everybody else. We developing and dying from cancer 4 times faster than anybody else. The black man owns colon cancer. We own hypertension, high blood pressure. We develop and die from asthma almost 4 times faster than everybody else. We developing almost half of the new AIDS cases. We dying because we do not know how the science of how to eat to live, and then we don't understand how to properly apply it to us as an individual. I'm your brother, man. I appreciate everybody tuning in with me and giving me some of your valuable time. Remember, out of your macro, M-A-C-R-O, your macronutrients, there's only 3: carbohydrates, lipids, what they call fats, and protein, amino acids, what they call protein. Out of those 3, the number 1 preferred energy source is a carbohydrate. Number 2 is the lipids. Number 3 is the protein. And if you screw that order up, you will never have enough energy. So when you take that protein shake in the morning, by 12, 1 o'clock, because your body has been stressed out. See, that's not your best way to get energy. So when it goes to working that, see, now you actually depleting your energy. Now you are energy deficient. See, so now you need another one. I need this. See, because you aren't eating, you're not applying the science of eating to live to you. You reading somebody, the South Beach diet, that's what worked for him. That might not work for you. But the way God made it, I'm just saying, this is when the nutritionists put this together, they say this is the way God, this is the way the Creator put it together. So I just want us to understand life energy, the sun, glucose, and why humans are herbivores. You got understanding carbohydrates. This right here, we unlock and take away all of the myths associated with carbohydrates. Carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. That's what you are made out of. Them the 3 most abundant elements, atomic elements in your body. Carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. Those are the 3 most abundant elements in your body. You 75% water, you 65% oxygen atoms. And your muscle, your skin, your hair, your nails are the carbon. Everything else is in minimal sizes. This is what we need. This is right here. You can't separate carbs from light. It is the end product of photosynthesis. Listen to me. The sun is the source of energy. So when you have the sunlight, the plants turn it into a chemical that we can eat in the absence of the sun. You can't remove a carbohydrate from life. Every plant has a carbon. So we can have plants that have less carbs, but you can't have a no carb because it's sunlight. And the number 1 source of energy in our body comes from a carbohydrate. So then you got understanding our human energy. There you go. So that way you know how to energize yourself. You don't need, you have a manual. It's in here. We got the activities and how much energy they expend. We got the foods and how much energy they expend. And we go into proper practices, the science of how to eat to live. So I thank everybody for tuning in. What can you drink for energy, Sister Shine? Nothing. You could go get some sunlight. That water is not made. Water has no calories. The only energy, the energy is classified in kilocalories. And the macronutrients, protein, lipids, and carbohydrates are our energy yielding elements. There's nothing else that yields energy. So vitamins and minerals, they support. The water, it supports and lubricates. Our number one source of energy is the sunlight. So when we go, that's why the slaves, when we look at our ancestors that were slaves, because they didn't wear the shoes that we wore, their feet were always grounded in the earth. Because they had to work from sun up to sundown. They stayed in the sun. They were always sunbathing. So no matter what the slave master did to them, from the worst whips to the worst food, they were connected to the earth. They were connected to the sun. So they did not need to eat as much. That's why they could get whipped. See, they could have a whip, 100. We've seen the pictures where brothers or sisters have so many horrific slash marks on their back, but they healed and they had to go to work because it's healing in the sun. This is the source of energy. So if we need something to drink, we got to go drink the sun. In chemical form, the sun is a carbohydrate. If we are suffering from energy deficiency, the most times we lose our energy from not breathing properly. See, because our cells need oxygen and glucose to convert into ATP. So because by the age of 5, everybody is breathing wrong. Everybody is using their mouth and their chest, which they call shallow breathing. Almost nobody is using their diaphragm and their nose to inhale and exhale. So the equation for energy is oxygen and glucose, and our cells convert that into ATP. And as it needs energy, it will break the bond of the ATP. And in that, once that bond is broken, the energy is released. See, so because everything is energy. So when we don't give our cells the oxygen, we overeat because we have to force it to just get it from glucose or sugar. And that's why those that are healthy eaters die, because we never give it the oxygen. So now when our cells can't make energy efficiently, so we have to give it an abundance of the glucose of the food because it's still missing oxygen. So if we practice breathing, if we practice like meditation and Tai Chi, this is why when people do those activities, they feel powerful at the end of it because they have finally breathed right. And they are finally giving their cells oxygen to go with the glucose. So now their body produces the maximum amount of energy. And they think, oh, it was something. No, that was just you functioning properly. So just imagine if we do that all the time. That means we never get sick. Because to be diseased, we have to be energy deficient. Colds, cancers, flus, lupus, thyroid, sickle cell, AIDS, everything functions at its specific frequency. But it is a low frequency. And when we don't breathe right or eat right and we don't produce that life energy, we lose it. We become energy deficient. And it manifests in whatever is the weakest part of our body, be it the kidney, the liver, the stomach, the spleen, the thyroid, your head. Whatever is the weakest part of your anatomy, that's where that deficiency will manifest at. But that's not necessarily bad. We just got to understand our body. And once we understand our body, then we can eat and instantly heal ourselves because we will eat only what we need. And we will not, and that right there opens the door. That opens the door for your internal power, for your eternal power. So like I said, our oxidation, cellular death. The number one cause of cellular death is oxidation, lack of oxygen, oxygen deficiency. The second is we don't have enough glucose because we believe the commercial and we want to eat like the European. They can't, that's two different diet plans. We need the sunlight. But when because of our lifestyles where we might work for people that can't stand in the sun, so they create a building that has no sunlight. Because 15 minutes of sun exposure in a European can start to develop melanoma and other skin cancers. So they create buildings, offices that is filled with artificial light, but no sunlight. So if we find ourselves working under these conditions, then we think we losing the number one source of energy, the sun. So now by breakfast, by lunch, by dinner, you gotta eat because you haven't had the sunlight all day long. So it's no water can fix that. It's no food that can fix that. The only thing can fix that is us eating how we're supposed to eat, which is standing in the sun, which is adapting and converting and reverting back to our own lifestyle. So, like I said, I thank everybody. Thank you, Sister Sharon. I pray that that answered your question. I usually don't, because my things flip so much that I try to catch some comments. Yeah, the coffee. Yeah, the coffee is good. The coffee was medicine. You know, when coffee was discovered, they used it for medicine. They used it to calm people, to hype people. It has medicinal value, and we can overdose on coffee, and it's in how they cook it. The lighter beans have more caffeine than the dark. The lighter beans, they didn't cook that much, so they have more caffeine than the darker beans that they cook, so it has less caffeine. And if we understand the process of how to cook it, then we can control it and manipulate it to be energy. But if we go and we buy manufactured and processed coffee, then 9 times out of 10, it's junk anyway, you know. So, and I definitely feel you on that one, sister. I had to do that myself. And Sister Denise knows, you know, I've been experimenting with the coffee and trying to get that right. But it's the life energy. ATP is our life energy. And ATP is simply oxygen and glucose that our cells, the mitochondria, converts into energy, ATP. And as we need it, it's strings of molecules that, as they are bonded together, let me show you real quick. See, the ATP is strings. It's strings of molecules. And as we need energy, one of these will be released. And once it's released, the energy that's in the bond, that's the life energy. That's the sunlight. So we make manifest that sunlight, and it illuminates. It illuminates your inside. It makes you alive. It's for your brain. It's for your heart. It's for your lungs. It's for your liver, kidney, your bones. And you grow. We grow. We heal. We become. Once we heal, we become healthy. Once we become healthy, we revert back to our youth. See. Whoa, that's what I'm talking about. See, once we get the healing down, then we become healthy. Once we become healthy, then our cells, because we remember everything is atoms. So we are atoms. See, you can't kill an atom. You can only slow it down, speed it up, transfer it, transform it. So once we become healthy, See, now our energy raises up because we no longer energy deficient. See, now we raised up. So our atoms, they spinning faster. We speed up the rate of rotation. See, once the rate of rotation is sped up, see, that's what holding the bond of the atoms together. That becomes stronger. So your skin becomes tighter. Your face, you lose the wrinkles. That muscle mass, that lean muscle mass. You start to feel, see, woo. You become the fountain of your youth. You become the fountain of your youth because everything is atom. So the science of how to eat to live, we going at it from an atomic structure. Look, we got books, understanding our human energy. We got the books for you, life energy, the sun, glucose, and why humans are herbivores. We got these carbohydrates for you. See, we got these for you. So all we got to do is to want it for ourselves. How long do you want to live? Once we understand that, then we can easily build the science and build a plan, a masterful plan that will carry us right into what we envision. So I thank everybody for tuning in. Man, I'm your brother, Sean Ali, here at Supreme Health and Fitness by Sean Ali. You can contact us anytime. We open 24/7. We here when you ready to live, when you ready to be healthy. We just a phone call away. How that old song saying? For me, hey, I ain't gonna say it because I can't. But I'm just a telephone call away. Hey, yeah, there you go. Your life, your life, your life is your life, man. I just want, as your brother, I just want you to know that the ability for you to claim your healing, the ability for you and I to claim our health, to claim our power, it is easy. It is easy. We just got to know the little bit of science that is involved. God did not make it hard. Listen to me. God did not make it hard. All he said is be and it is. See, that's how easy it is. Be and it is. See? Oh, see? So look, I just want us to live. I want us to be healthy. I want us to be powerful. I want us to be the gods that we are. I'm your brother. It's my humble honor and privilege to come before you and to share some of my little bit of wisdom and for you to receive it, man, because where there's two of us is that, we got God. Woo! So look, thank you, and I leave you as I came, the greeting words of peace, in the language of the gods, in the language of the champions, in the language of the warriors. Assalamu alaikum. Hotel, Black Power. Power to the people, man. Look, I love you as nobody else is telling you how valuable you are. Please accept that humbly from your brother, man. You are not only are you valuable, but we as a nation, we need you. We need you to be healthy. We need you to be alive. We need you to be powerful so that you can bring your God force and power and connect it with us. And we can get free. We can have justice. We can have our equality. We can go and develop our own. If nobody has told you that they love you, man, please humbly accept that from your brother, that I love you, man. Because I see the God in you. It doesn't matter what you see. I see the God in you. That's that love. Woo, man. Woo. I love my people, man. I love my people. Woo. Because my people are God. Ye are all gods, children of the Most High. Go and be the God that you are. All you got to do is say be, and it will be. Go and be the God that you are. Salam alaikum. Peace, family. Have a great day.